the Lecomte. Really fun rendition coming up on Saturday, and the good people at the fairgrounds, they draw the race early, so we have all week to preview a points race for the Kentucky Derby. And looking forward to this event. We've seen Epicenter as one of the marquee horses coming through here. Mandaloon, who ended up being a Kentucky Derby winner, going through the fairgrounds. So strong quality over the years here.
And there's a horse in the race you were telling me about just a couple days ago, a horse you have some financial interest in, who is a very promising 3-year-old. Yeah,
so I had 5 horses to watch going into the new year, and one of them is in this race. But it looks like the favorite's going to be Built. And the Catman, Wayne Catalano's got him a serious horse. Built won the Gun Runner. That's the race leading into this. And Built also faced East Avenue on debut. So Magnitude also was in this race, the 4 and the 13. Kurt, this was a smaller field in the Gun Runner, but Built kind of always had the measure throughout.
Home here at the fairgrounds after 3/4 for Built in 1 to 13.77 seconds, and Built has built it up a big lead coming down to the final 16th, and Built has the kick. Magnitude chased Built throughout. Render Judgment is 3rd, and Built just steamed away from them in the Gun Runner. Won by 7. Magnitude was 2nd, Render Judgment 3rd, Admiral Dennis, and Chris's Revenge.
And Built is by Hardspun, who a couple years ago gave us 2 fills. Some thought was actually maybe the best horse in that crop. So Hardspun still throwing some real serious horses. Tough post, but Jareth Loveberry, speaking of 2 fills, he's ready to get a serious contender on the trail again.
Yeah, looking at her pedigree, you mentioned the sire, obviously. I looked up the Dam Sea Garden. She only ran 3 times, but she's got a really good pedigree. She's by Curlin out of a Stormcat mare. She only ran 3 times. She was 7th, 3rd, and 4th, and this is her first foal. So pretty good first one.
So one of the horses I was really excited about going into the new year, a horse I saw in person, talking about the number 11 Disco Time. This horse, I want you guys to go back and watch both films of the race. This horse run 2 perfect races. Here we are in the most recent allowance. Everything he did right perfectly early. And watch this. You know, he feels like he's got the race under control. And Giroux's not really concerned. He's going to go for a little bit of a flag. But watch after 1 crack of the whip. They're going to hit him 1 time. And this horse is up by about a length. And he really takes off again. I mean, this horse levels off and really is responding to the encouragement. Has tactical speed by Not This Time, who puts out pure athletes. And I think that his ability to sit second. If you look at the Brad Cox runners in the last 2 years in the Derby, he had Angel of Empire and Catching Freedom. They were the same type of horse. They were nice closers, but they couldn't really make the impression on the win because they didn't have the speed. If you look at Brad Cox's horse that have had success in the Derby, Mandaloon had the speed, Essential Quality had the speed, and I think this horse might be of that same ilk, Disco Time.
And no surprise, Caleb, when you look at the breeding, the Dam, the Juddmonte horse, Disco Chick, the Dam, 42 starts, 24 in the exacta. She made $735,000 and has already produced a horse who's made $200,000. So unlike the unknown kind of pedigree on the Built, this mare, it was a very good mare and so far a very good producer.
And you know, here was the debut win. If we backtrack just a month, he won both races in November at Churchill. This was the first day of November, but he sat 3rd early, then crept up to 2nd, then took over the top of the stretch, and then maintained a safe margin through the wire at a challenging 7 furlong distance. So
tough to win going 7/8 first time, right, Caleb? Would you agree? At any track.
And another thing too, I think that could connect some dots if this horse could prove to have that talent is Juddmonte on the Derby Trail. Haven't seen as much of them on the Derby Trail as maybe you'd imagine of the great empire makers of years past, but Juddmonte's ready to have a serious horse.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of looking up that pedigree. Couldn't think of a lot in the recent years from Juddmonte, but again, the mare was a very good mare. She already had 1 horse make $200,000 and change, and Disco Time is the 2nd choice on the morning line for Lecomte at 4.5 to 1.
And those are some of the top contenders, and got a whole host of other horses looking to pull an upset here. Lots of different options. And in terms of one of the longer prices in the race, how about Tough Catch? I mean, Luis Saez, he set what I felt was like a modern day record at Churchill Downs in November. It was amazing numbers. Granted, Tyler Gaffalione missed a chunk of that meeting, but Luis Saez, he had a streak of 9 of 10 wins at Churchill was within a length of the lead, if not on the lead. So here we are in the Sugar Bowl, and guess what? He's right there on the lead.
0.95 seconds with Luis Saez. Tough Catch took the lead as Doroteo is mounting a charge for Axel Concepcion. It's Doroteo and Tough Catch, and these two come past the 16th. Thrilla into 3rd, Indian Cat 4th. Doroteo descends on Tough Catch. Tough Catch prevails in the Sugar Bowl. over on game newcomer Doroteo. Indian Cap third, Thrilla finished fourth.
From the pride of Louisiana himself, you gotta love seeing Dallas Stewart on the trail.
Yeah, and Tough Catch, again, into pedigree. Out of a broken vow mare named Try to Catch Her, she has produced 6 winners already, several of those 6-figure earners. So another good pedigree on the bottom side, and that colt is by complexity is Tough Catch.
All right, let's get to another long shot in this race. Golden Afternoon going to have in this race a turf win under their belt, and this horse actually has never competed on the dirt, Kurt, but has had some really good shows here on the turf, one at Kentucky Downs and one at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, and who knows on the dirt? Again, I looked up this mare, Caleb. The mare never ran on the dirt. Retired a maiden, but she did run second on the turf, and this is the first foal. I mean, by Golden Scent shouldn't be a problem, but there's nothing on the bottom side for the dirt, so we'll find out with Golden Afternoon.
And keep an eye on this trainer. We know, of course, Carlo Vaccarezza of Breeders' Cup fame with Little Mike, but I do believe that we heard from his son, Nicky, as they call him, and Nick has been a long-time assistant for the Top Barns, and looks like he's going to be going out on his own, and I believe he's going to have the training duties of Golden Afternoon. And like I told you earlier in the newsroom, Nick Vaccarezza is a trainer that I would definitely buy stock in moving forward.
Is he going to name horses little names too, like his dad did? I wonder a couple people on our staff, I think, with some
There's
of the little
names.
Scotty. There's a little Scott, right?
There's a little Todd.
Little Todd.
So I don't know if they ever got to a little Kurt or a little Caleb.
No,
but,
I think we're pretty far down the rungs there, Caleb, on the totem pole.
But look, Carlo does an amazing job. He's also an amazing restaurant owner, especially there in Lexington if you had a chance to go to a place like Frank and Dino's. But Golden Afternoon, that horse was second in the Bourbon to Minaret Station, so a very accomplished horse and will be a long shot for what looks to be one of the new potential stars in the training ranks.
Good betting race, good card. Looking forward to that Saturday from the fairgrounds.